Today we're at the beautiful Barnwell Mountain Recreational Center putting the Jeep Grand Cherokee Trailhawk 4xe through its paces. It does a lot of things wrong, but as Corey puts this thing up on the lift, one thing it does right there is underbody protection. So let's go take a look while he's in a really compromised position.
Little something.
Oh, boobies are jiggling. Boobies are jiggling.
I don't feel like the air ride is really meant for this. It's a weird give and take having this air ride suspension, because you're choosing between a softer ride to eat up the bumps or ground clearance.
Yeah.
So it's cool that you have options, but there's no one best option, which isn't a huge deal until you see what else it's missing. It's bench seat in the back, heated, not cooled. It's not nice in here. It's not bad, but it's not good. And all of this is an issue because of pricing. What's the price on this one as it sits? It does have some options, but it's a 4xe Trailhawk, which will be the only way to get the Trailhawk is in the 4xe.
23 and up, yep. $73,125 as this one is optioned. And I built a Wrangler Rubicon 4xe.
Okay.
Same money. So this is, like you said, a street vehicle that has been off-roadified, whereas Wrangler is an off-road vehicle that you live with on the street.
Like right now, I want to put it in sport mode. I want it in a hybrid because I want all available power. That's another thing, is if you like to be able to pick and choose how your hybrid system operates, this is great. If you want to jump in something and it works and you don't have to fiddle, this is not a good one for you because you got to fiddle. Again, it's another give and take, just like the suspension. It's finally in the suspension ride height that I wanted. I just want to do a quick little, just see if it'll cut loose a little. It's all-wheel drive all the time.
I'm just gonna ride with my eyes closed. Yep.
It will. It will. The suspension's not a big fan. And then once you get to a certain point, the all-wheel drive system just starts. It just starts doing too much. It'll scoot. It's a little fun. So there's not like a slide or drift mode. There's not. It's weird. It's in a weird box where it's trying to do too much. It wants to be a good road car, so it can lower itself and be aerodynamic. But it's got a weird air ride suspension. It's not that nice on the inside. It wants to be off-roady, but it's got this, once you get it ride height up, now the suspension is stiff. It doesn't have enough travel once you're at the top of the suspension. The power delivery is odd.
Not if you're an electric, I will say that.
As long as you have some electric battery, off-roading in electric is the way to go. The instant torque, the like percentage by percentage linear pedal response versus the turbo spooling up and down. The suspension is hating this.
And we're in normal ride height right
Which is
now.
kind of soft. It's just in such a weird place. It doesn't do any one thing great. At this sort of a price point, you would think that it does at least one thing really well and that does some other things well enough.
Yeah.
It feels like it does everything well enough. It doesn't excel in any one category. That puts it in a weird spot because for this much money, you have a huge amount of options that you can pick from depending on the type of vehicle that you want to live with every day.
Even in the Jeep portfolio, like I said, we built a Wrangler Rubicon 4xe for the same price.
So this has off-road 2, where it lifts the vehicle all the way up on its tippy toes.
10.9 inches of ground clearance.
Horrible experience. It's like an angry alley cat standing up with its back arched. It looks great on camera, has tons of ride height. So if that's the only way you can get out of a situation, because you just have to have that clearance, otherwise you're going to scrape really bad, that's fine. But you have no wheel travel, and it's so tippy, and it's so tall, and it just wants to tip and bobble. It's like a skateboard with rubber wheels. Not recommended. So we're not even going to do that. We're going to put it at level 4 out of 5, so we got quite a bit of height, but we gained some of our travel back because the way this suspension works is it pumps the air all the way up, and now you're at the very top of your suspension. You don't have any more down travel at your corners, so once you come up to an obstacle, it just goes until it falls over. So we want some travel. So we're not all the way up at the top. We're going to disconnect the sway bar. I'm also going to put it in 4 low.
Push and hold.
You got to want it.
You gotta want
You
it.
got to want it. The disconnecting sway bar in this is such a huge difference. It's still, I'm sorry, we got some real Jeeps going on around here, and it's not in a rush to do anything. Still waiting on the sway bar. The sway bar is huge. Huge. I mean, there's obstacles we actually had to back down off of
Yes.
until we disconnected the sway bar, and then I wouldn't say it just walked right over it, but it made it, which is, it's a big deal. I can't see nothing.
You will scrape a little going over here.
Forward-facing camera.
You're gonna take away my camera over here, man.
It flattens everything out. You
Yeah.
can't tell elevation, but I do get to see where my tracks are. That's big. I know the lines on this trail. We're going to come right on down.
There we go.
There. I'm not parking. I don't need those sensors.
And
Down
off.
again. If we were at the very top in off-road 2, sway bar disconnected, that would have been a diaper changer. It's not even a big obstacle. It's just teeter-tottering 2 to 3 wheels on the ground.
It's not natural.
It's not good. Not good. I would never, ever off-road like
I'm
that.
gonna go ahead and bump you up here to rock, which is
Okay.
gonna try and put you back in off-road too. But I'm gonna go ahead and cancel that just
Okay.
for this next.
So Corey was talking about putting the off-road mode in rock to let it know that we're rock crawling. I haven't driven up. I've watched you do this 3 times, and it honestly looks awful. It just, okay, it's figuring it out.
You got that rock.
Okay, we got 1 tire in the air, 2 tires, 1 tire, 2 tires.
There we go.
Bump on the rock. Slow. Okay, another tire in the air. Okay, nice. Not really, but it's acceptable. Trying not to scrub the belly. I'm gonna.
Probably will.
There it is, a little, but that's fine.
Got full underbody protection on this
Oh,
thing.
an A+ for the underbody protection. I mean, once you get past the front plastic bumper, everything is covered. Between tire selection and lack of travel, although it has those 2 things working against it, the off-road system, when you're in 4 low and you got everything set up right, it's figuring itself out.
Yeah.
Even when you only have 2 on the ground and you're teeter-tottering between an obstacle, if you'll just give it some throttle, you're either going to have the clearance and you actually can't make it, or it'll crawl you up.
Yeah.
You're not going to get stuck because the system gives up on you. I can hear it working. I can hear the suspension traveling out.
Yeah, it's a brake operated system that will brake the spinning wheel.
And right here,
Yeah.
we teeter and totter. That's pretty cool, huh? Not a lot of struggle from the all-wheel drive system. It's just the limitations of the platform because this is a unibody. We've talked about the suspension and the 4xe aspect of it, but even the interior, it's like a mix of stuff that you would expect and actually do see some of the switchgear in stuff like your Wagoneers, and then just like hot dog shit touched like right next to it.
Yeah. I will say, this is essentially mid-trim. You can get the full leather-wrapped experience, but this seems like a structural issue more than anything.
And it's the same hard. It's confusing because of the price point.
You can get this platform over 80 grand. What price would you pay for this?
60,
Yeah.
probably right around 60.
And this starts at 65.
And even then, that hurts my heart saying 60 grand for this, because I guess I'm becoming an old geezer, because this 10 years ago would be 45.
40, 45. Yeah.
It's just the whole market has shifted, and you have to reduce your expectations when it comes to what you're actually getting for your money. Hopefully that comes to an end, but I wouldn't bet on it.
So Jeep has made a very odd value proposition in the way that there's not much value here. If you get this car and you love it, then love it. If you haven't bought it yet, please ask yourself why you're looking at this, because it's not the best off-road. It sacrifices a lot of on-road manners to be able to do some off-road stuff. The mileage isn't incredible. The interior is a mixed bag. The whole package seems like it's a stopgap between the turd of a vehicle that the Grand Cherokee used to be and where it's almost at, where it's going. But this is just not quite there.